everyone, this is Carol with Remerg, and I'm here with my friend Colleen, who works with, she's a human resource generalist with a major manufacturing and distribution company, big hiring company. I met her inside Denver Women's facility at a job fair. So you can, it's a company that's known as a company that hires people with a criminal history and or a fair chance company. And so I asked Colleen if she'd Zoom with me today, and just so we could find out more about how to help you prepare for your that interview that you're going to do. This is what she does. So can you tell me about how job interviews are done these days? I guess during COVID, everything's online, right?
Yeah. So even prior to COVID, they had started changing for our organization, but in general, yeah, everything is done virtually now. And so we have, for entry-level jobs, we have a process that we use called HireView. And this is an opportunity for you to use a camera, any type of video. So on your camera, on your computer, and literally it'll ask a question, and then you hit record, and then you videotape yourself, and you can stop it, and you can redo the video if you don't like it. And then once you feel like you're comfortable with what you have, you hit submit, and then our recruiter sees it. And based on that video, they may choose to move forward and have a conversation with you or not. So it's really vital that you treat that like a serious job interview.
What are some of the things that you want people to know about when they're doing this recording?
Yeah, really good question. So when you're recording, keep in mind background. So you can see I have a bulletin board over there, and you can see I have windows behind me. Don't be in your bathroom, right? Don't be in your pajamas. Don't be laying in bed. Look presentable. Have a nice shirt on. It doesn't have to be a suit. Nothing that formal. However, comb your hair, be well groomed. Look like you actually want the job you're applying for. That's some really great tips. Don't be driving, because it's not legal in our state to be driving while you're on a cell phone and you're recording yourself, right? Very dangerous. Some of our rules, you'd be driving for a company, so we definitely don't want to hire somebody who's doing things that are illegal during an interview, no less. So be mindful of those kinds of things, for sure.
What else are you looking for? Do you think people should practice beforehand?
So so if you've never done a video for an interview before, then I highly recommend you practice on your camera. Just video record yourself, talk into it, just say a few words. It'll feel super uncomfortable the first couple times you do it, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be, and the more yourself and authentic you'll be during that interview.
Okay. What are you looking for when you do a job interview?
I'm looking for somebody who has good work ethic. And by that, I mean someone who's going to show up to work every day, and they're going to do the best work they can at the job, no matter what the job is. Every job is very important, or we wouldn't hire for those jobs, right? So know that you're needed and wanted, and behave like you are. Be the teammate you want other people to be for you. Be compassionate and kind to other people. Just be a good human being and a good citizen. That's really what I'm looking for.
Well, how do people get that across to you during an interview? How would they let you know I have a good work ethic?
So part of it is how you share things during an interview. So for example, if a question is about, how do you report for work? And if you're saying things like, well, I always wake up at this time, I get my kids off to school, or I take my dog for whatever it might be. We all have personal lives, but even in a very simple interview, if you're describing just you have a schedule and then you're prioritizing work. So in other words, you have home duties, but then your work day starts at 8 a.m. and you show up at 8 a.m. and you complete your work, and then you leave work, and then you have outside activities. I really need that. I need to know that you know how to separate work from home, because you're going to have both, especially nowadays when people are doing interviews from home and things like that. You have to be mindful of how to separate, right? So your employer is not going to fix all your problems for you. That's not the job of an employer. However, you do want to work for someone who's compassionate and cares about you, right? So just as you want that from an employer, we want an employee who's going to get the job done even when there are outside issues, right?
So I love bloopers. We all learn from bloopers.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about bloopers you've seen, things that people should really try to avoid doing during the interview?
So I have seen during HireVue videos, people who have been in their underwear while doing the interview or no shirt on for men. I really don't want to see that during an interview because it's just not professional. Definitely seen people driving that shouldn't have been driving while on their phone trying to record themselves. Very dangerous. That's a no-go right there. People swearing, don't need it in the workplace. It's unprofessional. And frankly, people get offended by that. So we're not looking for employees who are going to swear during an interview. And then also, you know, if you've been incarcerated, personally, I believe you've paid your debt. That's why you're not incarcerated anymore. And people on interviews who talk a lot about their incarceration, it's not helpful because all you're telling me is your history. We all have a history. I don't need to know your personal history. I really need to know about what work can you do for me and my company. So do not feel obligated to share that kind of information with people. It's none of their business, frankly.
Okay. So what would you rather that they talked about the the
Yeah.
job, really stress that?
Yeah. So really focus more, even if you've worked at the commissary in a prison, great. You've got experience doing food handling or warehousing or sorting, right? Focus on the skills, not where you did it necessarily, just focus on the skills and the amount of time you've done those things. So as an example, you worked in the warehouse in the prison and you stocked shelves, just focus on the fact that you've done warehousing and it was, maybe 20 to 30 pounds or 50 or more pounds of weight that you were doing throughout your shift, how often you did that shift, maybe you were full-time, part-time, but that's really all we need to know.
Okay. Any last advice for the interview?
Yeah, obviously you're going to be nervous. It's still an interview. And keep in mind that an interviewer is really seeking a good employee, right? Just as much as you're seeking a job, they're really looking to hire somebody. Why not let it be you, right? Be confident in that interview. Really know that it's a very short amount of time, right? So the only opportunity they have to get to know you is by what you say during that interview. So your words matter. So really try to get across the most important pieces of yourself to that interviewer during that short amount of time you have.
All right. Hey, Colleen, thanks very much. This is great advice. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time.